So a video became recommended in my sidebar. I clicked on because, well, I'm interested in Cyberpunk 2077. That game, I saw some gameplay, and I will tell you, it looks fucking amazing. Now, many people don't think about development that goes into these games in crunch time. I think Anthem specifically is pointed out in this IGN video as a situation to where EA just completely made people work well past 40-hour work weeks on that game. And personally, my thought on it is, and some of you might not agree, if you're trying to get something done, and you got a team, and you're trying to get something done, whether it's a video game, whether it is a movie, whether it's just something that has to be done before a certain time, and you make people work overtime, and you don't compensate them fully. If it's excessive overtime, and there's no extra compensation, then that's messed up. But I think 8 hours extra a work week instead of 40 hours, 48 hours, and that 8 hours being heavily compensated. I know if I've ever had to work past 40 hours, me personally, I get heavily compensated, and it's usually the case. In fact, many people actually, they will request overtime for the extra monetary compensation. This 5-minute video, I think what's wrong about it is, number one, and many people have left this in the comment section, maybe IGN, read into Polish labor laws. All right, many people are pointing to Polish labor laws. IGN actually talks about a report from an anonymous insider, someone who knows. The thing is, there's all these game journalists, and I think people point to Jason Schreier, is that his name? There's a lot of these journalists, and I think some people pointed to a Jim Sterling video done a week ago that has a good bit of downvotes. There's a lot of people that just are foaming at the mouth to sink their teeth into any shred of a story. They're just hungry for anything to point at to discredit a company like CD Projekt Red. And in this case particularly, I don't think it's a big fucking deal. I think it's a 6-week time period. I think it's an extra 8 hours each week. I think they're being clear and transparent about it. I don't believe the report that it's been over a year that they've had to, work excessive hours. Comparing that to Polish labor law, then they would be in a lot of fucking trouble. I just think in this situation and many other situations, a lot of journalists are just not being honest. And it's not in their best interest to be honest because they need that story. They need a big story to try to sell you on. Now, IGN, Jim Sterling, many people out there blowing this story up for their own purposes, blowing this story up, equating CD Projekt Red to EA. I'm going to share one comment with you. This is from Holly H. Gamer 88. 90 plus hour work weeks? Yeah, no. Poland is in the EU. The max hours they can work is 48 hours a week, 8 hours of max overtime. Also, they said that they would avoid it, not that it won't ever happen. If people will hate on CD Projekt Red and not buy this game, then you sure are a horrible person. Especially now, you should support the game and give the devs the well-earned money they deserve. I think the game looks amazing. All right, from the gameplay footage, I think it looks amazing. I think it will be amazing. I look at the track record of CD Projekt Red, Witcher 3. A lot of people think that's the best game released this generation. And I think there's a lot of people out there, a lot of these gaming journalists that are just so hungry to sink their teeth in, like I said, into anything negative, any kind of a negative story to report. 8 hours extra for a 6-hour time period. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad, especially, like I said, if they are well compensated for those 6 weeks. So let's say you don't like that. Let's say you're against that. Okay? Fair enough. Let's say you are against these people having to work an extra 8 hours a week over a 6-week time period. Well, I think if you if you don't get this game, let's say you protest because you're on the side of the developers. Let's say you're protesting and you don't want to buy the game. Isn't that a fucking slap in the face to all the people that worked hard on this game? You know, you're not going to buy it. You're not going to get it because, your integrity, and you're against the development and the overtime and everything. Like anything, it can be excessive. And this is not a case like it was with EA and Anthem. All right? There's no equivalency. This is false equivalency. And I think people like IGN, Jason Schreier, Jim Sterling, I think they're trying to make a fucking mountain out of a molehill in this particular instance.